paddle team. That was an overnight I've had here at Stratford. So my next trick is to head up a mountain, which is in that direction. There it be across there, cloud at the top, but we may be able to get to the just in underneath the cloud there and get a bit of a view around Taranaki. So that was a good night's rest. I had more kilometres yesterday than I anticipated, at 540 odd. Just a bit too many. But anyway, the bike's running well and I'm running well. Let's get on with the adventure today. So the mountain ahead of us there is called Mount Egmont or Mt Taranaki, and I'm striding up the side of it here. There's a way up the ridge on the right hand side is up to the information centre, but this one here takes us up to a ski field or a plateau. So that's where I'm heading, up to the plateau. That gets me above the snow line. Any map of Taranaki shows that there's a circle right round the base of this mountain, and that's the Egmont National Park. And so I've joined in here now. This is the road, I hope, up to the plateau. I haven't checked my maps, but I'm following the signs like I used to do rather than the GPS. Thought about things last night. God, to me, an old Dutchman, he and I stood and watched the American cars. It was called Americana weekend there, with all the American cars, the muscle cars, from the Mustangs to the Spitfires and the old Chevys and the Bel Airs and all that. They're all strutting around town. The town is bedecked with flags and people watching all these cars go up and down the road with their clacks and horns and tooting and revving their engines. Interesting for about 10 minutes. So I'm at the Plateau Car Park, they call it. Up there's the top of the Mount Egmont. She's only the first time it's been clearly exposed like that since I've been here. Up there you can see a lodge up to that ridge there, but the peak is way up here. That's the tip of the top there, Mount Egmont. But we've got all this here, all this valley, a ski field there. It's quite a distinct circle right round. New Plymouth's out round to the left there. I've got the sun rising in the east here, but Midhurst and Stratford are down here towards that shining light. And if I come back around this way, we've got Alvin down there and out to Hawera on the coast, and then you go on round the bay down to Wellington. I do think we've got to go right back down, right back to Stratford along the main road to get round the there's no intermediate linking road, but I could be wrong, but that's what I'll do. I'll go back down through Midhurst around to New Plymouth and right round the back of the mountain to get some views from the other side. This is a zigzag piece of road here coming up. I'll put the camera on as we go down here. I haven't got a story to tell you, but anyway, the temperature up the mountain here is 13 degrees, and as you get a bit lower the temperature rises. But yesterday I found these new gloves of mine. They're fitting all right, but I had heat problems. My hands swelled up in the bloody heat inside them. Now that might have helped them break in, I suppose, but I was thinking I must go and buy a set of summer gloves rather than these ones. Pretty bit of lovely road here in New Zealand, isn't it? And you never know it's here unless you come. Or you got someone on a motorbike taking a few photos of it. Just a little bit of front brake and stay in a lower gear. I'm in gear 2. with 2 fingers over the front brake and give it all down the straights. Bit of front brake and that just eases her back. It's a great little bike. I'm really enjoying it now. I got it when it had done 33 and now they're up to 39.5, so that's 6,500 k's that I've done so far. And I thought I'd get this bigger ride in before the winter, really. I was riding yesterday with a fellow with a BMW R1200 and he had his wife on the back, but I really couldn't keep up with him. He just she's just a big lumbering thing and she just loved the bloody corner, so and I found myself competing with him for a wee while there until I thought, Alvin, slow down, just let him go. Well, just up the road a bit he stopped and his wife was taking photos, so I beat him to the destination of the Whangamamamon pub anyway. That's right, rehydrated, had a cup of tea, and he and I, we parted company. So I've dropped down onto Highway 3, which runs between Harwera and New Plymouth, and the mountains out over my right hand side there. I can't look too long because there's cars coming, but just take it from me that the mountain's on my left, and it will be for the next hour or so as we go right round the back of the mountain. What's the temperature today? So far it is running at 18 degrees. Yeah, it was 13 up the mountain and 18 down here on the flat. I just read a note from my mate in Aussie there. He's up to 47 degrees out in the bloody desert, out in the Stratford track. And he said it's a much cooler at 32 degrees when he's back home in Brisbane. What a contrast to temperatures that we're moaning about. Anyway, I'm rugged up and I'm not even cold here, struggling along at 18 degrees. You better come over here, Rob, and see what the temperature's like. This is one place I can use the cruise control, this little pair of pliers here that lock the accelerator. It just fluctuates between 101 and 99 depending on the rise and dip of the road here. And it just gives my little right hand here a little bit of respite. Now, it's not tender at the moment because it's had a nice rest, and but this is the sort of place, all the cars flowing evenly in a nice straight line. I don't know New Plymouth very well, but I can cut off and go across the inside here through the farmlands, but I think I'll go into New Plymouth and we'll have a quick look around there. I'll ride the main street so that you can have a look around too. It's sort of off the beaten track, Taranaki. The main trunk line and the route number 1 is straight up the centre of New Zealand, and that's the one that I take, the direct line between Tauranga and Wellington to get on the ferry to go. New Zealand seems to be putting a lot of effort into the infrastructure and the roadworks. There's a lot of different areas that are under construction and being upgraded here. I don't know, I think maybe it could be part of the COVID relief, you know, infrastructure development and money available to upgrade roads and things like that and keep people employed and boost the economy again. But anyway, that's the way of it. So we're coming up to an intersection here, turn right to Hamilton, and that takes us back out to the right, back the way I should have come if I wanted to go the quickest way. And this way here to the left takes me out to New Plymouth. And this little town is called Inglewood. There's Inglewoods everywhere in Queensland, Victoria and all around the place. So we've got one here in New Zealand in Taranaki. Inglewood. So here we are dropping into New Plymouth. This is downtown New Plymouth here. I'll cut into the city centre. It's rain. Let's take shelter. We'll take shelter and let this shower of rain go. I don't think it's going to be much, but it is brewing for rain later in the day. This looks like shelter, doesn't it? Here, this one's closed, so we'll take this one. Well, there's the boat ramp at New Plymouth. Opportunistic seagulls.
Some snapper and kingfish.
Yeah, what's that big tail there?
Big kingfish.
Is it? Oh, there's nothing wrong with that, is there? Hey, a lot of meat on that one? Yeah. Oh, good, thank you.
Yeah, it was good morning.
Good snapper too. Where did you go?
I was probably from the Bell Block.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah, so, and only about maybe 25 meters of water, so.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's good, yeah.
Well, that'll keep you satisfied for the week.
Sure will.
Okay. Opanaki Walk. But just behind us here is the old wharf that went out there, and that's the breakwater to protect it. This is the coastline here, Opanaki Beach, way on round to Harware, and out here is the big oil fields for the Taranaki oil fields. But years ago the Maori used this here as a trading port, and when the Europeans arrived, big boats would anchor offshore there and smaller boats coming in and out until this wharf was built, and then they could get rid of wool and butter and stuff out of here. That's what it used to look like there when it was underway. So I'm coming into the little town of Opanaki now. This is on the surf highway right around the external of Mt Taranaki. The mountain's back over my left, as it always is. I've come round anti-clockwise. Taranaki is known for dairying. Lots of old dairy factories around the thing, but they've all amalgamated into one big one now, probably Fonterra. I see the milk tankers of Fonterra. So it's all rolling country here, as you can imagine. The lava and stuff coming down off that big mountain over there, and there's creeks and gullies all the way through. But I would pick the land is very fertile. There's 3 speed camera vans on the way around here, so I just keep her on the 100 and he can get somebody else for his revenue. Now this building here, I reckon it would have been an old dairy factory in years gone by. Let's have a look and see what the logos say. Natural cut spring, but to me the whole building looks as though she was a dairy company years ago. They were dotted all around Taranaki, in fact dotted all around New Zealand. They were cooperatives. The farmers would get their milk collected and fetch them into butter factories like this here. And Dad was involved in that at Reefton. There was the West Golden Coast Dairy Company Cooperative. But as technology developed, they had no need for these smaller, more redundant dairy factories, and so the bigger cooperatives got going. And no doubt there's a whopping big central processing plant here in Taranaki somewhere. I think it is at Alvin, maybe even a couple of them. And as the milk tanker technology got bigger and bigger and better and better, those buildings were redundant. They become workshops and store sheds, and I see that one there became a string company. So whatever skids your wheels, away you go from there. Well, there you go, that's Hawea. Hawea in the southern corner of Taranaki. I've just met up with Bev's cousins, really. Had lovely lunch with him and a catch up. And now we've got a 256k ride down to Pariorua. We're going across to Wanganui first, and then across down to Bulls, and then she's Highway 1 all the way down. I'm familiar with that road. So I just got to watch my speed here so that I don't get stung with the speed camera. It's quite a substantial wind farm out here. Let's see how close we get to it before we get kicked out. This is the main railway line here to Taranaki. I better stop. No trains that way. No trains that way. So the wind farm here, quite a few that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 30 of the buckets, eh? I reckon we'll get kicked out of here too. We'll go up here a bit to the ridge. And when I see security coming with the light on, we can nick off and see if they can keep up, eh? Quite big machines. I'll just go to this corner here, that'll do us, and I won't test me luck. I'll go to this gate here, give them something to think about. No pubic access. Here he comes. I don't think he can get me. He'll have to go like hell. He'll see me getting in the... He'll say, no, we won't chase him. "100 kilometres an hour on gravel, let him go." Well team, that finishes day 2 really. I'm now on the expressway into Wellington. I've got accommodation down here a bit at a place called Pariorua. Everything's gone very well today again. I've just fueled up so that I've got a good start for tomorrow. I've got to be at the ferry at 7 AM in the morning. So that's it for the day. Over and out.